Hi, and welcome to this week's Here's Your Apology. I'm Nate, and with me as always is Levi. What's up, Leave?
Hello.
What up, Leave? Can I be honest with you, dude?
Mm-hmm.
You kind of freak me out outside.
It's okay.
It's just out sitting by the fire. We're just enjoying the evening, talking about tonight's episode. And Levi unravels a theory, a fun theory. And now I'm not going to be able to sleep, but yeah.
That's the mind of a conspiracy theorist.
But the thing is, the reason why I think it freaked me out is because what the hell is real anymore?
And what is real?
What is real anymore? No,
Is it a country? Do they run the United States?
Yeah, yeah. No, it's funny. Like we were talking, I definitely think we're on a reset, like a truth reset, where.
Well, yeah, it's like hard to believe anything. It's hard to know who's telling the truth. Is it a conspiracy? Did they stage a shooting? Which is, that feels like the thing that is becoming more common.
Right.
That I feel like nobody would fathom that someone could stage something like that. And so maybe that's why it's being staged, because no one would believe that I would let someone take a shot at me.
Right.
For publicity,
Right. And how crazy is it that the alternate, like that someone would actually try and murder someone is the greater, like, oh yeah, that's the believable thing. That murder is more believable than like not killing somebody.
Or that it was like set up
that it was
to look like.
Yeah. Like if you think about it logically, the setup is way more likely. You got to find someone to kill
I don't know. In the case of Donald Trump, because that's what we're talking about.
Nobody hates that guy.
In case you haven't caught on, in the case of Donald Trump, I feel like it's easy enough to find someone who wants to kill him.
Look, man, I don't know of anybody who's in any sort of disagreement with Donald Trump right now in this day and age. Yeah, no, I suppose you're right. And it only takes one. You know what I mean? It only takes one freaking...
Well, out of all the people in the country who hate him, 3? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's only 3 who've gone through with some sort of thing.
Not bad.
I'm just saying, out of 330 million people, 3,
Yeah.
Because that there's a huge percentage of those people who don't like him who would be happy to see him no longer with us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then apparently
so like out of those people who would be happy if it happened, it's just like the more you whittle it down, it feels like it should be more.
Right. I mean? Like he's not doing too bad.
Yeah.
If it's only 3.
Exactly.
And they didn't get you.
I think that part of the reason a lot of people feel like there's this, like this feels fake, is because of the immediate shift to talk about the ballroom. This is why we need the ballroom.
Oh, yeah.
Almost as if like, well, how we're going through this legal trouble with the ballroom. How do we make it so that it's undeniable? We just get to do what we want. Let's prove to them how unsafe it is out there, And so now we can build this ballroom however we want. And like they immediately started talking about that. And so I feel like that's kind of like why it's easy to be like,
You're right. Your immediate concern, because that is a weird concern. And I'm sick and tired of denying the shit that is weird that we're not allowed to say feels weird. But there's a reason it feels weird. Right. So like if you get, shot at and your immediate what? It's the president, dude. It's the president. They took a shot at the guy got through security and took a shot at the dang president.
Yeah.
And we're talking about a ballroom. Like all the conservative talking heads
Yeah.
start talking about the ballroom. That is a weird thing, and it's okay to call that weird.
Did you notice ever since the violence has become more left wing, the immediate reaction from the left isn't about gun control?
I have noticed
It
that.
used to be like if this happened,
It's the
it'd be like,
opposite.
well, this is why we need stricter laws of gun control. They're not saying anything like that anymore.
No, you're right. Because there's now there's trans Second Amendment. Like, I'm going to shoot my... Like, they sound like
Exactly.
Billies, bro.
Yeah, it's like the left wing position has become pro gun.
Yeah. It's like...
That's because they all want civil war, I feel like.
Really? Because I feel like it's Donald Trump going, oh, you don't think these guys support me? I'm going to make them support every... He's that good, dude. Donald Trump's
He's just
so
like
good.
It's making them be on his side.
Yeah,
of
and
the
they
issue.
don't even know it.
Yeah.
They're supporting gun
yeah, no,
rights, and it's great.
Yeah. But that's the
Expose-
thing, like
yeah.
it used to be there was a shooting, there was a mass shooting, whatever. And now it's like, let's talk about immigration. Let's talk about
Yeah.
like, did this immigrant who killed this person, should they have been, whatever.
Right.
It's not like, how do you get a gun? This is the problem with there being so many, like I'm not hearing that argument from left-wing sources at all anymore.
right.
Which like, that was like their go-to for so long.
That's the irony of all this situation is so funny because if you think about it, you have blacks, whites, gays, Christians, all in America.
Jews.
Chill.
Just saying. They're here too. I'm just saying. They're here too.
They're here too. Yeah, and we're all like band together going, get out of here.
To who?
To every immigrant.
Oh,
like
yeah.
all like the real Americans are just. I feel like we're all together on that one.
Yeah. There's less of a divide between left and right. It's kind of like the gun issue a little bit.
Kind of like
Like
also
we're all
the
kinda,
war.
like now it's just an American issue where like you are okay with guns, a little bit more.
Yeah.
And you kind of like are over the whole immigration thing
Right.
a little bit,
Yeah.
like no matter what, that's kind of like on both sides at this point. There's
Yeah, sure.
more agreement than
Then-
there used to be.
Yeah, for sure. And if
Because it's like they acknowledged there was a problem, right? The border was kind of open. Like they had to acknowledge there was kind of a problem. And now that they have left-wing shooters, they can't act like the guns are the problem.
right.
It has to be something else,
Yeah.
Like
Well,
it has to be almost justified. And that's what they do is they are like, well, the rhetoric, it's like they have to justify instead of being like, well, how did that person get guns? Why did, it's more like the rhetoric caused them to do this.
right. And it's like everybody is like in their own group. They now have to face, they've been given everything, dude, for years. They've been given everything. They have all the power.
Who?
They like the left.
Right.
The left. And they've been given all the power. They've been given all the, all this, the heads of all the corporations. They've been given all these things.
Right. Schools.
And so now they can't point at anybody else as the problem.
Right.
Bitch, you're in
You-
charge.
You run the institutions now.
You run the institutions
Yeah.
and you hire everybody in the institutions.
Right.
So now they're being forced to like look in the mirror
Yeah, yeah.
and they're, oh, look, we have to close the borders. I guess why? More.
But that's the thing, like if Kamala Harris had been president, they probably wouldn't have closed the borders still, right? It'd probably be the same situation, I would guess.
I would guess
Like
that,
I think because Trump won, now there's pressure on them to, well, what's your position? And they don't have a position. So now they're starting to have to
Right.
like create a position.
Yeah. Which is also kind of funny to see the stragglers, like the ones that are still, like there's Democrats out there still peddling the same shit.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, dude, you're going to die a slow political death talking like that.
Yeah, it does seem like some of the people who are like more ideologically captured by their worldview, you know, they are just still going to be diehard that this is the main issue, whatever. But yeah, society's kind of moved on from a lot of the issues that were popular when Joe Biden was president, or like the far left wingers had all the social currency, you know, for so long.
Right. And it is kind of funny too, because when everything's going good, so like Trump hands over this, you know, great economy and all this stuff over to Biden, who royally fucks it up. And then America kind of gets what they've been asking for from Trump. So they voted the dude in who gave them what they wanted. Right. And to your point, like what you were just saying, like, remind me again what, like I just blanked. I shit my pants. No, what were you were just saying about the, you blanked too, didn't you?
I didn't know I was going to have to go back.
Did we blank together?
Remember what I had just said? I was trying to follow along with what you were saying.
You just said it. How can you not remember?
I was trying to move on to the next thing.
This guy can never remember what he was saying. He always blanks out.
It had to do with Joe Biden and how, like, if Kamala Harris was president, it would have probably, that Trump becoming president put the pressure on them to have to choose a position. Right. That's what it was.
And that's how good he is. That was my whole point. Is like, that's how good Trump is. Like,
the pressure is causing them to have to.
Yeah, because we're not arguing about silly things. We're not arguing about cutting your wiener off and what bathroom you can shit in.
Right.
We're talking about, like, who should have nukes on a world stage. Yeah. We're talking about things like, we don't want to be at war in the middle. Like, whether we want to be in the discussion or not, we're in it. And I think Americans on the big issues are kind of pulling together.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
There's at least it feels like there's like a somewhat of a controlling majority on some of the issues. Whether it's not like going to be a fit, like it's like 60-40 or whatever. It's not, there's still like division, you know, but it feels like the sane perspective has taken more control of the reins than it used to.
Right.
Even though the other crazy stuff is still out there.
Right. Well, it's like if all you have is chaos, like, the insane person looks insane.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Normal.
Yeah, it's normal. So it's like, yeah, they've had to live next door to what they voted in, and they don't like it, bro. They don't like it when their, you know, kids get assaulted and their daughters get raped and they're paying more money and they see corruption being exposed and homeless shitting on the sidewalk and not getting ticketed or arrested doing drugs in the open air. Well, you
anarchy
get pulled over
of the left that does exist, you know, because that's kind of what it is. It's like a lot of anarchists on the left, like far left, you know, are influencing the mainstream politicians to look the other way on a lot of the things that they think should be looked the other way on.
Yeah.
And that's created problems. And now those problems are gotten so big that they're undeniable.
Right.
You know? And then people are like, how did we get here?
Yeah.
And it's the anarchy of just letting so much, people get away with so much for so long at this point.
Yeah. I would agree. I would just adjust anarchy to, like, totalitarianism, like, not total anarchy, because if politicians, like, all look the other way on speeding, right, for everyone, whatever,
yeah,
I
but
don't care.
A lot of the, like, Antifa people are anarchists.
But what I'm saying is they think they're anarchists, but they're only anarchists for what they want.
That's what I'm saying.
But
And then they influence the
which is-
politicians to look the other way on the things that they want, which has created these problems.
But the same things that they want, they also are asking the politicians to hammer the other side for. So like they want to be able to threaten with violence and do all that shit while also simultaneously having us censored for any sort of speech that they don't like. So it's not anarchy, because anarchy would be like, say whatever the fuck you want.
It's anarchy for them. They
Which is
have no rules,
totalitarianism.
you know?
Yeah.
But it doesn't matter. Their worldview and their perspective is
Right.
now I can do whatever I want, you know? They're getting that.
Exactly.
You know?
And they're getting that because we can't do whatever we want.
Yeah, but that's irrelevant.
It's
Like
not,
that,
because
yeah,
if we
it's
could
irrelevant because if you want anarchy
Mhm.
and you can get it, regardless of if somebody else doesn't have it, you know what I mean? If you're allowed to do whatever you want, then anarchy exists and you can be a participant in that. But just because somebody else is now controlled or a slave or whatever, that doesn't mean that you're not still operating under an anarchist mindset, system, and worldview.
No, so here, I'll give you an example. It's not like a big secret that the black community, like all these murderers, are killing people and then getting probation. They're getting like insane light sentences. So that would be anarchy for them because their consequences are minimal. If I go out and I kill, if I kill like somebody for whatever, same sort of situation, my life is gone. It's not anarchy. I have to pay consequences. Anarchy would be like...
Yeah, it's not anarchy for you, but it is for the other
what
person.
What do you think anarchy is?
No rules that apply.
Right, but
yeah.
if there's a set of rules that apply in any situation, that's not anarchy. That's a different system.
To the person who's seeking anarchy and getting it, they are getting it. It doesn't. It can. Both things can exist at the same time.
Right. That's what I'm trying to tell you.
That doesn't overrule their anarchy. Like, oh, because you have to follow all these rules in order for them to have anarchy, that doesn't overrule the anarchy that they've created and that they have.
Yeah, no, it does, because...
It doesn't.
It does, because...
It gives them exactly what they want.
Okay, but you have to let me...
Because aren't you pro-anarchy?
Yeah, pro-anarchy.
So you're saying in order to get
Levi,
it?
you're not making any sense. Here's
no,
what you're
you're
saying.
not making
here's
any
what you're
sense.
saying.
So in order to
not
get,
letting me
so
talk.
do you
You gotta
think,
let me talk.
do
You
you
gotta let
think
me
in
talk.
order
You gotta let
to
me
get,
talk. You gotta let me talk.
do you think
You
in
gotta let
order
me talk.
to get,
You gotta let me
you
talk.
gotta listen.
Yeah, I have been listening.
So do you think in
You're
order
saying...
to get the anarchy that you want to, you think that that everybody will get it equally? Is that what you're saying? And that's the only way it can exist?
Anarchy can only exist when there is no rules for anyone. That's anarchy.
Yeah, I don't think that that's even possible.
It's not.
Then it's irrelevant. Like if it can still, then
You're
if it
saying
can
it
never,
exists.
if it can never exist, then it's not a real thing. But it can exist, and it exists in the exact same way that I just spelled out. And that's like, seems like the only way it can exist, because the way you're saying it can exist will never happen. It can't exist like that.
That's not what I'm saying is, that's the only way anarchy exists at all, ever, is if there's anarchy. If there's only one side, anarchy, but they're subjugating, that's the what do you call it? The linchpin on this whole thing is there's an element of subjugation.
That's what happens when anarchy takes place. People get subjugated. Welcome to the world you want.
That's a system.
It doesn't matter. You want anarchy, then
Anarchy is no system,
creates its
right?
own. If anarchy creates a class of slaves and a class of elites, it doesn't matter. Like, anarchy means there's no rules. So people are going to enslave people. People are going to whatever. Like the system like there is no true anarchy in the definition, the way you're spelling it out.
there's
so
no
that everybody anywhere is not subjugated at all, and there's just chaos. That doesn't exist. If there's chaos, people will get subjugated. People will become like.
So the system
You know what I
still
mean?
exists inside of an anarchist.
It's exactly. You're just either on the side of the place where the anarchy exists, or you're on the subjugated side of it.
Oh, so there's still slaves in anarchy? That's gay.
Of course. Think
Who would
about
want
it.
that?
If anybody could do whatever they want, slavery is bad.
But
Think about it.
That's what
There's literally
hold
no
on.
consequences.
That really is to my point if you think about it.
I thought subjugation meant there wasn't anarchy.
No,
that
I'm
was
just
your
saying
point.
There's many benefits, some of which I didn't even know about. If you
All
could
right,
have
well,
a
now
slave
that we've finally come to the conclusion that what I'm saying is correct.
is completely retarded. So you can have slaves in anarchy.
What do you think anarchy is?
Like no rules, but like no
Right.
rules, that means no rules for slaves, right?
Who's enforcing the no rules?
That's what I'm saying.
Exactly.
But
so then
that would be a
anybody can
rule.
come up with their own rules.
So anarchy isn't the absence of rules. It's like a billion, everybody
It's
has their
the
own.
lack of order. There's no order, but people create order. So like if you give people the freedom to not follow these sets of rules, they're going to come up with their own rules, and everyone's going to have their own rules, but it'll create different, sects of society, subjugation, classes, guaranteed.
Is there a country now that runs on anarchy?
Not that I know of.
There's gotta be. Maybe like,
That's the thing. I don't think it can exist. I think, especially in the way you just spelled it all out.
so like,
I
what
think
about a
it's-
tribe?
It's not real. I don't think. Tribes are. I feel like it's
Yeah, 'cause it's a
socialists a lot of
system.
times.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's like
they're still leaders. They're still,
Yeah, what the hell is?
anarchy doesn't exist. We've come to that
Yeah.
conclusion here today. It's
Yeah, if anything, I would be anarcho-capitalist.
right. But that's just no rules over the market, basically,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. Damn, dude. So there's
Which means some people are going to subjugate other people in the market because there's no rules.
How do you think it would look like now, like in a true anarchy?
I think it would turn into
What it is?
slavery, like child labor comes back, slave labor comes back, people getting paid real dirt cheap, like corporations take over basically the world, I'd say.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's weird to think like.
And then the rest of us are just there to serve the corporation.
Yeah, because if it was in real life anarchy, like nature,
Right.
society looks a lot different, dude. I think the only difference though is the label. I think it does operate like that. Like the strong could totally flip this whole
Right.
system on
Yeah.
its head, but we just don't.
Exactly.
Is that because of chemtrails?
It
Is
could
that because of
be.
chemtrails,
It
dude?
could be. We don't know what that stuff is.
Well, what do you think it is?
Let's get back to the subject at hand. Do you think that the assassination attempt on Donald Trump's life for the third time was
I feel like I blew a booger.
a conspiracy, or
Ooh,
was it true?
that's actually a good way to frame it. I think it feels like a conspiracy,
Like staged?
like staged. Yeah, it does feel like a
Butler
conspiracy.
didn't feel staged, right?
Butler didn't feel staged. To me.
Yeah. But then the more time that passes,
Except
the
for the
more
ear.
time I'm like,
It was like it was a
was it
miracle.
staged?
Was it a miracle? Please let it be a miracle.
The more time that passes, the more it feels a little more staged, right?
A guy died though. They
I
don't
know.
care, though. That's just
the thing. But like, are we trying to pretend that no one in this world ever would be willing to sacrifice a life for to better themselves, to better their position in life?
Oh,
you know what I
think
mean?
he was like, I'll do it. I'll take this one.
No, I think that whoever wanted to stage this assassination was like,
Yeah.
it'll only be believable if someone actually dies.
Yeah.
And that guy got the short straw, and they're like,
They duck down
and
a
they don't have
service
a
agent, cut
problem
him.
taking him out if it
Dude.
means the narrative that I survived an assassination attempt survives. Like, that's, some people are willing to go that far, I feel like.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think that's beyond the realm of possibilities.
Exactly.
Did you hear Tim Dillon talking about that? It was so funny. He's like, I want the president to come out now. Like, once the midterms are over, Donald Trump needs to do an interview revealing how he staged the Butler event. Like, that's what we want to hear about.
Is that what Tim Dillon
I won't even
said?
be mad. I'll support.
Is that what Tim Dillon
Yeah.
said?
Yeah.
I mean,
Hilarious.
that's the thing, because it was really believable if it was the pictures, but the pictures could be faked,
Yeah, dude. And I don't know if that guy's really dead. I don't know him or his family.
Yeah, they showed a body. I saw the body in the videos, but could have been staged.
Look, hey,
Yeah, exactly.
you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
there's a body.
But that goes into thinking that, you voted for Trump.
Yep.
Do you think he's capable of that? Because that's what you have to believe, is that he's capable of it enough to the point where they pulled it off on a massive scale,
Yeah, I don't think I would be ready to say I think he's capable of like being a part of something like that, but I definitely think there are people and powers who are capable
in the
that would want him in power.
So you think someone did it on his behalf?
Could
and
have.
that he's so somebody fake assassinated him, shot at him,
Yeah,
in order to boost his
nicked his ear, or just was like, hey, we're gonna stage this, and maybe he didn't know. I don't know, dude. That takes more steps to believe that shit. I have to go off instinct anymore with everything coming out. Like, I've been talking about this more than anything. Like, if everybody has access to amazing technology beyond even our realm, it feels like AI is not of this world. Like, it doesn't feel like a part of this world. It feels a part of a different realm, right? And I feel like people are kind of calling it out. Peter Thiel's giving lectures on the Antichrist. Like, this is spiritual. Everybody's saying it's spiritual, but it also feels like, but is it?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if it's
but
spiritual,
is it, or
but
is it?
Yeah,
because that's what the problem is with the reigns of information, like the true reigns of information.
Mm-hmm.
Feel like they still aren't in the hands of the people. You know what I mean? Like, we're still getting told things to believe.
Right.
Nobody's like trying to prove anything to us.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, it's like with the vaccine when COVID happened, no one was trying to explain to us how it works.
Right.
No one was like, all right, this is really complicated science, but try to follow along. So the way this works is like, no one was trying to do that. They was just like, take it because it does this, and if you disagree with me, you're wrong. Like, no one's trying to offer real truth or real information, like what they know about anything. You know what I mean? It's more just like, well, check it out for yourself and look through those files and see what kind of conclusions you come up with.
Right.
There's no like, well, the most likely theory for JFK is this, and we think that because here's the information. Like, no one's really spelling it out if they know. And they know, like they've had the information.
Right.
So they're definitely just like holding it to themselves.
Yeah, so we know they keep secrets. At the very least, they keep secrets.
Yeah.
And like another example of what you were talking about is like Bongino, right? Dude, I listened to Bongino for like a decade. Faith, dude, ask my sons. I would wake up early on Monday and Tuesdays when I'm off, and I would eat my breakfast and watch Dan Bongino.
Yeah.
So I was like a day one for that guy.
Right.
The thing that bothers me is not the conclusion he came up with the Epstein files. Like that's not what bothers me. What bothers me is what you said, is that he's not explaining.
Right.
He's not explaining how he came to the conclusion that the files were a hoax. He's not saying, oh, what we found was a bunch of rogue FBI agents are insulting Trump or inserting Trump's name and also additional fake files on X, Y, and Z. And now it muddied the waters, and we did this, and he's not breaking it down for anybody.
Exactly.
What he's doing is he's coming on all these conservatives that are saying this shit, like you said, aren't explaining themselves. They're going on and they're calling the people who still have the question, who haven't connected the dots.
Yeah.
They're calling us black pillars and like all these stupid fucking things.
Right.
It's like,
because if you don't just like buy what they say hook, line, and sinker, if they have to explain themselves, then they know that you're corrupted. You know, like, or that's what they slander you with is, well, like, well, then you're just like
yeah,
a black pillar or whatever. Like, you don't believe in the truth or reality or facts. And like, that's what they try to do with the gaslighting around like Israel and like Gaza.
Right.
It's like, they really try to like gaslight you into, if you even ask this question, you're anti-Semitic or whatever, you know, like
that was the
classic
big
thing. Yeah. So the fact that it's just so obvious now, it feels like, especially with like the fact that they've sectioned off like Candace, Tucker, Megyn Kelly, Alex Jones. They've pushed all them to one group.
Yep.
And they're demonizing that group.
Yeah.
And it just feels like we're being gaslit into being forced to believe something blindly.
Right. The thing that these people, whoever is fucking causing this to happen, what they don't realize is like the power of human instinct. The thing that God put inside of every man and woman. Only two genders here.
Yeah.
But no, the thing that he put inside us to like alert us for danger or when to run or when to fight, you know, all those things are back in play. Now whereas before we relied on our evening news. Our grandparents relied on the evening news. They turn on the radio, listen to evening news, whatever. Then that evolved. And now we all have television. So we all watch the same television programs. Well then, you know, as technology advances, people like start breaking up into these, like everything that we ever want to know is on our phones. We know that. We say that all the damn time.
Right.
But now with this otherworldly technology, it's like everybody's on the same level again, back to grandparents before radio, because you can't believe shit anymore.
Right.
All we have to go on is our instinct.
Right. Like there's too much information.
Yes.
Because we can't tell what's true anymore.
Yeah.
Based on anybody who's telling it to us.
Yeah.
We have to use our instincts again in the way that we did before we had all the information.
Right.
Because we've like leaned so hard on having all the information.
Yeah. Yeah.
Google it. Just Google it.
Yeah. It's like Ben Shapiro. Facts don't care about your feelings. Facts don't care about you. No, you know what? Fuck you, because my feelings don't believe in your facts. It's all AI. Your eyebrows are AI. Your fucking voice is AI. You're a puppet, dude. Facts don't care about your... No, that's what I'm trusting. I've never fucking met you in my life. I'm going off of my feeling, you dumbass. That's the thing that God put inside me to discern whether you're a threat and I should kill you and protect my family, or whether you're a part of the tribe that I can probably make gather berries. You know what I mean?
And by make gather berries means you'd be the
He'd be licking
the
my
lead. You'd be
nuts.
the
Ben Shapiro
leading
would
that
lick
tribe.
my nuts in its tribe. Dude, if I was a tribal chief and Ben Shapiro was in my tribe, he would be the berry gatherer. You know? That's what I'm talking about. I'd have my own little Jew.
No, I get what you're saying. I could see that. I feel like that's what I was saying maybe a couple episodes ago, is this like, I'm to the point where I'm just going off of like, well, that's stupid then. Like, well, then you're stupid if you think that, because I can't just entertain everything as if it could be true or as if every perspective is valid. You know? Like, some just aren't.
Right. That's actually what got me thinking about this. Like, is you saying that. It's like something clicked. Like, yeah, that's stupid.
Yeah. And I don't have to believe it just because you're telling me you have to believe this.
Dude, and it's so freeing. I don't have to believe we landed on the moon. Why? Why?
Exactly.
Why?
That's one that like I'll have like discussions with liberal people about. I'm like, I don't even really think we did, you know?
Yeah.
And they're willing to give that to me. Like, I'm like,
that's funny.
Because I always frame it as if like, what does it matter if I believe it or not? What does it change?
Right.
I'll go to my deathbed not believing, and it won't matter a single bit whether or not I believed this little thing that I'm told I have to believe, you know?
Yeah.
And so that's like one of the ones that I like hold on to, where I'm like, even if we did, I'm happy to sit here until someone explains it to me in the way that we're saying, like, all right, it's gonna be confusing because the vaccine's confusing, but this is what it does, you know, until somebody takes the time to actually break it down in a way that makes sense. I'm not gonna believe it just because it's like the experts told you to believe it, so you have to.
Exactly.
Or you're wrong because that guy said so. So and he studies it or whatever, you know?
Yeah, he has a big long title to his name.
Yeah.
So listen up. Listen good. No, you're right. It goes, to me, it kind of goes back to one of the other foundational things God puts inside of us, which is the freedom of choice. We're always told what to believe. We're always fucking told, like you're saying, believe the expert, believe that expert, believe this video, believe this fucking news anchor, believe this podcaster. And dude, we have the freedom, like the choice is so important.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And they're told if we choose, like when we happen to choose what we want, we get labeled. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So I like when you go, I'll go to my deathbed not believing. It's like I don't need to play your game. Exactly. It's so freeing. That's why I believe in
There's
Bigfoot.
no like salvation in that belief. None. You know what I mean?
Yes.
So like it doesn't matter. Like how some people
I get you.
It's like how some people think believing in God doesn't matter. That's like probably how I feel about believing in the moon. Or like that we went to the moon. You know what? I think it really doesn't matter at all. You know?
Yeah. No, I agree 100%. And when people who are like, you know what else I don't get? For a long time I wanted to understand this, but I never will. And the older I get, the more I'm happy I don't. But astronomy, dude, that shit's boring. Stars are beautiful. The sky is beautiful.
Yeah.
Studying it's gay. Stop studying the stars.
Yeah.
You're not a fairy. You're not a dentist.
Like, yeah, what's the point at this point?
Just enjoy them.
Like, at this point, we've had thousands of years of looking at the stars, trying to whatever, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Decode the whatever they do, you know?
Exactly.
And there's not any new discoveries, you know?
Right, exactly.
Stick AI on it, you know? It can scan constantly and like interpret whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, what else is there to learn, you know?
Yeah, and two, it's like, oh, they're actually balls of gas that are, it's like, I don't care.
Right.
I don't care what stars are made of. I don't care if the moon is made of blue cheese.
Well, that's the thing too. Sometimes I'm skeptical, like when I'm skeptical about space stuff, there's like an example of like, they're like, we discovered a planet this many light years away, right?
Shut up.
And then they're like, and it's made of, they could tell you what the elements, like carbon and da-da-da, like its atmosphere is this. It's like, how do you know?
Right.
From looking at it from this many millions of light years away, you know what the atmosphere is made out of?
I believe it.
Like how would you know? You don't know. That's made up.
Yeah.
Like that's just science fiction, right? Like how would they know?
I have a theory. So you know how
and no one's like explaining it if they do know. Like we were saying.
Yes.
Like if you do know, break it down.
Yeah.
Like I'm capable. Like I'm pretty smart. I was good at school.
I'll try
If
to follow.
someone explains it, I will understand what you're saying.
Right.
Unless there's a giant hole in it, you know?
Right. And also if you can't explain it, like I'm in 5th grade,
Right.
then it's not real. It ain't
yeah,
real.
exactly.
And here's the thing, here's my little theory. You know how Kamala Harris and all the liberal chicks like Jasmine Crockett, like how they have their word salads, they say
Kamala?
What did I say?
Kamala. Come on. Show a little respect.
I apologize. It's Kamala?
You remember that?
Kamala?
You remember that election year? It's Kamala, you know,
Yeah,
they were
yeah.
big into the
So I
correcting.
apologize.
Yeah.
I apologize to the Harris family. Mr. and Mrs. Harris. No, well, shit. Oh, so you know how she would go on the campaign trail and it'd just be like one after the other word salad?
Yeah.
That's what science is, dude. What the?
Yeah.
Because this is their explanation. Because you say explain it to me, and they go, oh, okay, and they give you like 70 different formulas. Formulas, by the way, don't exist. Algebra is not real. Drop out of high school, make money. No, but formulas are like the word salad of fucking science.
Right.
You know what I mean? They're like, oh, E equals MC squared.
Yeah, what does that even mean?
What the fuck does that mean? Oh, it's Einstein. He got C's. He got C's in high school and all throughout college. E equals MC squared. Genius. What? What you're saying doesn't, it's not fucking real. You know what's real? My mom and dad, you know, and my wife and my children, and that's real.
So you just don't like physics.
It's not that I don't like it, Levi. It's that it's not real.
Right.
Because it's like prove it to me. I mean, I'm just being facetious, but like on a large scale, like yeah, obviously friction, the study of motion. Like I believe that. I believe in astronomy.
The properties are real.
The properties are real.
Right.
I believe that the stars, we can use them to navigate to different lands or whatever.
Yeah.
That should be the extent of it. It's funny, it's very convenient that they can take a subject that is literally bottomless and then just make, like if I wanted to have power, that's exactly what I would do. I would have a subject that is bottomless, like space or the ocean, and go, or the economy, and just go make up constant facts about it. And the next fact I make will be built upon, predicated with the fact before it.
Right.
So you can just build on all this shit.
I did see somebody on a TikTok or something talk about how like we created numbers, we created math, we created this stuff.
Yeah.
We're all just using a thing we created to discover things that we that are like made up by
be
us.
discovered,
You
yeah.
know what I mean? Like the only reason we're able to like discover this formula is because of all these other formulas that we made up. You know what
Yeah.
and that feeds into the other thing. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? But it's all actually just made up by us.
Yeah.
So that's why it all works together. But
yeah, to a degree, like I agree with that. Like like I said, on a micro level, or on like a macro level, I think like the basics of math and all that stuff, like God, I think that's it could be one of the foundational things, but then we take it, we morph it into our
we're
thing.
just all trying to figure out what's going on. You know what I mean?
Trying to figure out what's
we
going
just
on.
all woke up on this planet.
Trying to put
And
one
that's
foot
it.
in front of the other.
Somebody raised us by telling us what they thought was going on, you know? And now we all get to figure out what we think is going on.
Yeah.
And live that way, you know? There's no, I mean, it's obviously a lot of discoveries and things have happened that help us like get a better understanding of what's going on.
Yeah.
But there's, again, all these conflicting views too. And so we have to like, just like at a certain point, decide for ourselves. And that's like everybody has to do that because we just woke up on this. And so like, I think that everybody's just trying to like figure it out, you know, what's going on in the universe, in this world, in space, like what, or whatever any of this is. Why are we here? You know what I mean? Like all of the questions. There's the movies, or there's the books, but then movies. Maze Runner. Do you ever hear those or read those, or
I never read
did you watch the movie?
Yeah, I did.
So like
Didn't even know
they
there were
wake
books.
up in a maze, in the center of a maze where there's like they're provided for in the center of this maze, you know? And outside of the maze, in the maze is dangerous, you know? But they just woke up there with no memories.
Right.
They don't know what the world they live in is. They know that if they go beyond those walls, there's monsters and it's dangerous. So they mostly stay into this whatever, but they constantly are trying to discover the edges of what they know and like safe routes through the maze and whatever, you know?
Yeah.
That's how I see the world. I see it as we just woke up in this maze and we're in the center of this universe.
Yeah.
On Earth, which is we're provided for here, and we're safe, you know, and we're just trying to discover
the edges of
of everything we know. How far can we go? What does it? What's beyond this monster? Whatever, you know? Like that's how I view the world, kind of, or that's like consciousness and being here and all of that, you know?
Yeah.
I think it's a good metaphor or whatever, analogy, whatever it is.
So like in your, so like in your view, is there a force that is manipulating the maze? Is there or is it just?
I just think as humans, everybody's just trying to figure it out. Whether there is or there isn't, you know? Like some people have decided, I'm just going to chill and not even worry about it, you know? Some people have decided, no, there's not anything else, you know? Other people are more curious, whatever. Like, I think that we just woke up here. We've figured out society, plugged into whatever. Like, I don't know what was here before I was here. I've just been told, you know? So I just have to take what people have told people over time and try to figure it out for myself. You know, like there's whether what I believe is true or what somebody else believes is true almost is like, who knows? You know, we're all just trying to figure it out.
Yeah.
Or and like all just having to make decisions.
Yes.
This makes sense or this makes sense or whatever.
Yeah. What makes sense? Does the story of creation make sense to you?
Like in the way that it's spelled out in the Bible? Not on like the physical plane that I recognize. You know what I mean? Like No. Like, I've never seen something.
Oh, come into
You know what I mean?
existence
I have
from
to, that's what
the
I'm saying.
spoken word. Oh,
Someone
gotcha.
said that that's how it happened, and you get to choose, do you believe it happened that way or not? I woke up here 37 years ago. You know what I mean? And I was just told a bunch of stuff by other people who were told a bunch of stuff, by other people who were told a bunch of stuff. And like, we're trying to figure it out,
Yeah.
So it's hard. That's why it's hard to commit to things, because I want to know everything,
Yeah, you want to know like all sides of something before you
Yeah,
make a
yeah.
decision on one thing.
Exactly. But
which
I've like
is-
forced myself to make decisions,
Sure.
because I know it's like you can't just be doing that forever,
Yeah. So do you believe, I know it doesn't make sense to you, but do you believe that the story of creation happened the way it's
I believe that
spelled out?
that humanity was created. How? I don't know. Is it the way that the Bible says? I don't know.
Which way makes sense?
Like,
I mean, that
like
you've
why
heard of
should
so
that?
far.
Why should I believe that more than another? You know what I mean? Like, the only reason you believe that is if you are required to believe in everything that the Bible says is like 100% factually true, and there's no other way to interpret it but that. Like, there's plenty of people who probably think like, "Let there be light" could be some sort of spark of ignition of whatever this universe is, and like,
Some people think it's the Big Bang.
yeah, exactly. And like, who knows what it represents in reality?
Yeah.
I think that the message is more like, are we created or aren't we? Like, that's the important part to know, versus like, how were we created? You know what I mean? I think for me at least, yeah, it's like either you believe we were created or this is all an accident kind of.
Yeah.
And then you move on from there.
Right. And then it's supposed to progress, right? You think? Like the questions, like how are we here? You have to answer that within yourself. Like, am I created or am I by chance?
Right.
But if I was created, then I would have to think why.
Well, yeah, that's the other thing. It's like, okay, I believe I was created. Okay, was I created and then left? Like, am I like something that an inventor made that now they're gone and I'm just still around, Or is it like a system that got started but now it's just operating on its own? Is the creator actively influencing the world today? Is there like an ultimate goal and outcome for this whole experience? Like, there's all those angles and questions you have to ask yourself. And so then you just have to decide, like, everyone has to just kind of decide, or just decide that it doesn't matter. Just like the moon to me doesn't matter.
Right. Yeah. It's funny. I was, like, I've been praying lately for that type of thing. Like I really want to know God. Like for me, I'm a little bit in a different place where like I do believe in the Bible cover to cover, all that stuff. But like the places that I have trouble believing is like that there's that I would be loved by God. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like,
yeah,
how retarded.
The people who like die and come back say that that God is like the benevolent force in the universe, and then that there's an evil force in the universe, and it's like, they're at odds with each other, and God is the benevolent one, which would mean he loves you,
No, for sure. But like in a way where like, but also
because we know love exists, right? That's something
yeah.
that exists in the universe, in us, and
Yeah.
whatever. So like, we know that's real on some level,
Mm-hmm.
you know?
Mm-hmm.
So if we like zoom out to the scale of the universe,
Mhm.
does love still exist? Yes, right? It has to, because we know it exists.
Well, wait. What do you mean? Oh, you mean?
So if God,
I mean, if it existed on Earth and then you zoomed out 100 billion light years, it would.
to the scale of God,
Yeah, it would still exist because it
right,
existed on
which
Earth.
means it could exist at the scale of God, which
Mhm.
means God could be all loving,
Like,
right? Yeah, in the way that they say, you know?
which is a pretty crazy. That's like a magnificent thought,
Right.
like a truly magnificent thought.
Yeah, it's hard to think about a little bit.
Yeah, like I don't even know where I would begin
Yeah,
to even experience. I don't even know what that would look like
right.
for,
I feel like I've kind of I've like married sci-fi and biblical teaching a little bit. You know what I mean?
Scientology.
To where it's like,
You're a Scientologist?
well, how do I explain it?
You're like, therapy's a myth.
No, about like the simulation theory, right? That's
Mhm.
like I don't know. Is it scientific? Who's thrown that out? I've heard smart people talking about it though, as if it's like a valid theory. You know what I mean?
Sure.
So that
I
this
think
is all
it
a
is a valid,
simulation
it is
or
a
whatever.
valid theory.
I see that as like that could be 100% true and still coexist with like biblical
Christianity.
stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No, I could see that.
because if that's the case, then like the Maze Runner,
Mm-hmm.
this is like an experiment. Life is a test. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Otherwise, and so if otherwise, what is it? What is it? You know? If it's
Exactly.
not a test,
Yeah.
there needs to be a result. Otherwise, what is it?
Well,
Right?
it's funny because it would have. The reason why I say it has to be a test is because it begs the question, what is life? Like, what is the purpose? What is.
Right.
And that's a question.
Does it exist for
You have
no reason at all
Yeah,
in
you
the whole
Yes.
universe? Like it's just an accident and no reason at all.
That's a question.
Yeah. Well, that's
a
what
test.
and that's what it boils down to is what do you believe? That
Yeah.
either it does mean something and we were created, or it doesn't and it
Mhm.
doesn't matter and none of it matters, you know? And so those are like really what it all boils down to.
Yeah.
It's like either it's a test or in like this simulation or whatever happens in your life or on earth matters,
Mm-hmm.
or it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
And if it doesn't matter, then it doesn't matter. But if it does matter, then it's a test.
Then find out. Yeah. Find out. Get the answers.
Yeah, exactly.
Get the answers. That's what I'm saying. Like, out of all the discovery and pushing the edges, discover what the purpose of life is. Go after the purpose of life.
Right.
Like, seek to find what meaning this life has, if any, if you feel like it matters.
Right.
And if you don't, please just like and subscribe. Comment and
Exactly.
like.
Yeah, no, I mean, that's kind of like the way I see it is now is like simulation. It is a simulation in that,
Yeah.
what is its consciousness? Where is it? Is it in my brain? Is it what is it? We don't know, right?
Yeah.
Why did I wake up here? What is whatever,
Yeah.
why are we all here?
Yeah.
We all just woke up here and we're like, hey,
Yeah. Yeah.
so what's going on? And then they're
Right.
like, oh, this is what I hear. This is what I think's going on. This is what I think's going on. This is what I think's going on, And so,
Yeah.
I mean, you find more purpose once you like choose what you think is going on. You know what I mean? Make it personal.
Mhm.
And that's the whole personal relationship with God type of thing. Like, that's what I was taught, I was always taught growing up, like, religion's bad. It's not about a religion. It's about your personal relationship with God. And so that's the way I see it. It's like,
That's interesting.
your personal relationship is you deciding what things mean to you
Yeah.
in a way that gives your life purpose and meaning. And it's like, you know, a way that you're able to just like sit with it and be like, okay, and not be in existential dread constantly.
Sure.
You know what I mean? And for some people, that means just deciding doesn't exist. But
Yeah.
that's kind of like the easy way out, I feel like.
Yeah, no, for sure. And I kind of grew up, like, well, when I was younger, I grew up kind of the opposite, where you grew up, it's not about religion, it's about a relationship. When I grew up, it was religion is the terms by which the relationship exists.
Right.
So, like, you know.
But in that scenario, you're still just taking what somebody tells you, hook, line, and sinker, and you don't get to critically think about any of it. And that's the problem I have with the religious side of it, you know?
I don't know, like I never got in trouble. Like I remember hearing about that at Stone Church, and I kind of even bought into it for a little bit, or being, you know, in the church where you grew up in or whatever. But like I remember questioning a lot at Catholic Church, and the priest was like always patient and kind and like,
yeah, he lets you question, but he had an answer, and the ultimate goal is
that's why I was
to.
going to talk to him. If I didn't want
That's
an
what
answer,
I'm
I'd go to
saying.
someone stupid like my dad.
Well, that's what I'm saying. It's like either you buy into the Catholic answer or you're not Catholic. You know, like that's what I'm saying. Like to
Well-
me, it's not about the religion, because the religion is just buy this the way we've said it, or you're not one of us.
No, that was never how it was.
That's
though.
how it is. You're not Catholic if you don't believe what the Catholics believe.
There's things that you can like not believe and you can doubt. Like there's things you can doubt and you're still considered Catholic. That's just something that's said. It's not.
Yeah,
even,
but doesn't Catholic come with Catholic
Yeah,
has
there-
a bunch of
yes,
rules.
yes,
so
they
like
have a
that's
bunch of rules, but they're-
doesn't matter, you know. Like there's a bunch of rules. If you don't follow those rules, you're not Catholic.
right. I
Like,
mean, that's yes.
that's the religious side of it.
Yeah.
Where I'm saying where like you gather the information and you decide for yourself. You know,
Sure, but it feels like, yeah.
it
Yeah.
makes it a personal relationship where you're like, I don't have the answers. I don't know all the answers, but I've decided I'm okay because I believe this, you know, versus like, believe this is the answer, you know?
I get what you're saying, but like there were times where you wouldn't have answers. Like I remember after my grandma died, I went and talked to Monsignor Ecker, and he was like, I can pray for you. I'll pray for you. I don't have answers on to why this happened, but this is what I believe, and blah blah blah. This is what we believe as Catholics.
We as Catholics.
Yes.
Where did you recognize yourself as a Catholic in
Yes.
that? Yeah. So then
that's what I'm
you were a
saying.
Catholic.
And
You were part of
but-
the religion.
yes,
That's what
but
I'm
what I'm-
saying.
but what
If
I'm
you
sa- but what
weren't
I'm
believing
saying-
those things, you wouldn't have been a Catholic.
Yes, no, I agree, but it's the same for you. You're saying it's different for you, right? In how you grew up. 'Cause
I'm
it's
saying
about-
I don't want someone to tell me that this is the way it is.
right.
Because I don't believe that they know more than I know based off of the information we have. So I'm going to make my relationship with God something that
Yeah.
I can feel comfortable with. You know what I mean? Something that makes sense to me outside of what other people tell me should make sense to me.
Yeah. No, I mean
So, because like
that
there's
makes sense.
like people could tell me like, oh, do this, whatever. This will how it'll make sense and give you purpose in your life, but it doesn't click. You know, like you could tell people
yeah.
follow the Bible and you won't be depressed anymore. You have
Right,
whatever, like,
right.
but it's not gonna work unless you find a personal relationship and a personal
Sure.
way to consume the information that people say about what the Bible says.
Yeah.
Then you can have stronger faith. Otherwise, your faith is determined on, well, what does this guy say?
Right.
this scripture should mean to me. You know what I mean? Versus
Sure,
like
yeah.
finding personal resolution with what you believe, you know?
Sure. But don't you think it's a both and? Because like when you read the Bible, like there's an application that applies generally to all people, but then there's also like certain scriptures that like really like hit home. Really, it's in a God talking to you, you know?
Yeah, that's like an
Yeah.
example of like information you would see that you make part of your personal relationship with God.
Right.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. That's a
That's what I'm
commonality.
saying.
Yeah. That's a commonality. I agree with you. I'm just saying the purpose of religion would be to maintain that type of thing.
Maintain discovery.
Yes. Yeah, to maintain discovery.
Yeah, if you think that that's the only place you can find that, right? Like I have a
No way,
brother-in-law who is a biblical scholar, right?
Mhm.
And that's how he's chosen to find God in his life, is look through history and books
Sure.
and like
One way.
education
Yeah.
and consume as much of that as possible. I look for God in experiences that I have in life, like things
Sure.
that I feel like are once in a lifetime things to get to go do, to go talk to experienced people that I never would have ever met in my
Yeah,
life,
there you go.
whatever. Like that's how I discover God.
Thailand.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Exactly. So like
Croatia.
some people discover God through books, through
Mhm.
the Bible,
Yeah.
and that's right for them.
Mhm.
I don't agree that that's the only way to discover God in your life. And so the relationship I have with God is informed by what I've been taught,
Yeah.
right? That's still my like underlying thing. But then I lean a lot harder on my experiences that I've had throughout my life and like dreams, you know, like there's other things that I kind of like also build my faith on, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, no, totally.
Because I can't take some structure that like the Catholic Church that exists and build my faith on that. It doesn't work for me. It just doesn't, you know, like I don't know why, but I can't submit to authority like that. Like any earthly authority is hard for me to respect. So maybe that's what it is too, a little bit, you know.
Interesting. It's interesting because when I started going to evangelical church, it was far, like not even close to more authoritative than the Catholic Church ever is.
What do you mean?
Like, do you remember there was like a thing that we went through that was like accountability, and it was like so far we pushed accountability like to the point where it was like, and then kids started wilding out. Do you remember that at all?
I remember the accountability push.
Do you just remember like the hierarchy? There's always hierarchy and leaders and like
yeah, but
there's
that's
leaders
you're
over.
just proving my point.
No, I'm not.
Yes, you are,
No, I'm
because
not. We don't
that's
have-
literally this. It's like the Catholic Church.
No.
The evangelical church. There's still like a framework that you're building your faith off of, that they've set some sort of standard.
No, you're not. What I'm saying is, when I went to,
You're saying you felt like there were more rules with the evangelical church than there ever were with the Catholic Church.
yeah,
But that's missing what I'm saying.
no, you said you've always, part of your problem is you've always had a problem with authority.
Yeah.
I get that. I totally get that. What I'm saying is, the church that you grew up
And
in,
religion.
authority and religion.
Yeah.
Yeah, which makes, I don't think that's weird. You know what I mean? It's actually probably super normal to buck against both of those things. But what I'm saying is,
Yeah,
like,
but if your foundation is on that thing, then if religion fails you, you collapse. You're broken. Your faith is built on something that's kind of like man-made. you
yeah,
know?
that's why you have to rely on the people that went before you who swore that religion didn't fail them.
If that works for you, I just don't
Yeah,
think
yeah,
it,
yeah.
I don't agree that
No, I
there's
agree.
one
I see what
path for everybody, and like that
Right.
in the way that I just explained, which is
Yeah, no, I know what you're saying. I was just explaining that Like just the authority aspect of. That's all.
That there's also authority in evangelical churches.
Yeah, it was like way more of a thing. It was like,
Yeah, no, I agree.
but
And,
what I'm,
I mean, I don't know because, I mean, the Catholic Church definitely has way more rituals and things that look like a structure outside of the evangelical church, you know, which feels a little more come as you are, but it doesn't matter. It's irrelevant to what I'm saying. I'm
No,
saying
sure.
some people search for God in this way. I look for him this way. I think that the real important thing is to figure out your personal relationship with God
Sure.
and build your faith on that and not on relying on other structures or other things that people have like told you just blindly. I have a hard time blindly just, you know.
Yeah, sure. I don't like blind belief either, but what I do like is, like, for me, if I believe that God is omnipotent and like also like the consuming love that we were talking about earlier, like he's all consuming, so he's like manifold, right? Like he has multiple, like, dude, there's so many ways of discovery of God, like you were saying. I don't think you have to limit yourself to look in, just like you were saying, your brother-in-law looks in the scholarly and the historical, and you look in human experience, whereas I might look into like maybe I don't know how you would label it, but more like a spiritual confirmation or, you know, something like that. I would go all of it, because I feel like I look for God in all of that. Like I look for God in human experience. I look for God in, to be honest, lately, suffering. Like I want to like know God in suffering. I don't even fully know what that means, but I want to know God in history, or find God in history, if that makes any sense. Like I want to.
I don't know. I mean, what does that have to do with what I'm saying? Is kind of what. Look, what are you disagreeing with me about?
I'm not disagreeing with you at all.
So are you agreeing with what I said then?
Well, what I'm saying is all of those things point back, for me, the God of the Bible. Like all human experience, like all of those things, that's where it's led me.
You've confirmed it all in the Bible.
Not all of it.
So like the experience of finding God out in nature, you've been able to read the Bible and connect those two things. Because that's what I'm saying. There's different paths, you know, to like discovering
and
your personal relationship with God.
Yeah.
And so you're saying you look through all of it and you want it in all of it, and that's great. But what I'm saying is it's important for people to just kind of figure it out for themselves, you know? Like
no matter what it is, it has to be a personal thing. Yeah,
exactly. Like you can't tell me believe in, like, this is why you should believe. Here, read this. This is why you should believe, and then I will believe, you know?
Right.
I need to figure out how to believe in the way that I'm capable of believing, you know? And so like that's its own discovery, is like, how do I believe? How do I come to a place where I can believe, you know?
Yeah.
And so that's where I have to like draw from the things that feel the most like close to God that I've ever experienced in my life. Yeah.
Dude, you know what I used to get so jealous of?
What?
People who experienced miracles.
Right.
People who saw like tumors disappear.
Because that makes it too easy, you know?
but I wanted that. You know what I mean?
Oh, of course. We all want it.
Like
we all want, like, God, if you're real, move this plant, you know? Like, we all want that.
But there are people out there who who like have those stories who are like, I saw
Yeah.
a tumor disappear. Like, I want to experience something where I see a miracle. It'd be so much easier.
I know. But because it's not that easy, that's why I'm saying what I'm saying.
Right.
Because it isn't that easy. It's not as
It'd be
easy
a
as
miracle.
read the Bible and you'll believe. It's not as easy as just believe. You know, it's like you have to like discover for yourself how to figure out how to believe in something.
No,
otherwise you just don't, you know. But I think it's important to, and so I'm like having to do it in a way that that's to me the personal relationship with God that religion doesn't even touch. You know, like it can't tell me how to believe. It can't.
Right.
Religion can't make me believe in God. You know what I mean?
Sure.
No sermon will change. Like no sermon will drive me to like. It can't. So I have to discover it on my own in whatever way makes sense to me.
Right.
You know?
Because only part of God is, I mean, not only part, like only part of God is logical. There's a big part of God that's experiential. And we have to.
We were given 5 senses. We woke up on this physical plane where we can feel and have experiences.
Yeah.
So to me, and this is like a theory I've come to believe, that's a part of my faith, which is, okay, why are we here? Why are we on this earth? To have experiences. So that's an important part of my life.
Huge part.
Is to go out of my comfort zone, do things I wouldn't normally do, try as many different things that I can in life, you know? And like in doing so, I'm living out my purpose that God has for me, because that's part of my belief as the reason that we're here, you know?
Yeah.
And then so on and so forth with kind of other principles and things like that, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. And I totally get what you're saying, like too, with the Catholic Church. But one of the things that priest told me one time was like, one of the true, I don't remember exactly how it was, but I remember like I was not doing well, and I was talking to him, and he basically, I was questioning like this whole thing, like, how do I know what is real? And I remember he was telling me, we were talking about religion, and he was saying like basically the truest religions, or the truest form of belief or faith, something along those lines, is like not stopping the inquisitiveness of finding out. Like if you keep looking, like just keep looking.
Yeah, exactly.
Keep looking.
And that's the problem I have with atheists. It's like, oh, they've just decided they're right. I figured it out. Nothing matters. Oh, none of it's real. I've figured it out.
Yeah.
This is all an accident. This was all, consciousness was a crazy accident, whatever. Like, that's not good enough for me. And it's not, like, I enjoy having wonder in my life.
Yeah.
So even if that were true, I wouldn't want to live my life like it was, like it's true, you know? Like, so no, I reject that perspective, because even if it's true, I don't want to live my life like it's true. So I'm going to live my life like with wonder. Like, we're woke up here, look in the sky. What is that? You know, like there's so much wonder in the world that, of course, we don't have the answers for it. We're doing our best to try and figure out answers, but it seems like we're also running up against our own limits, to where maybe we're never gonna have all the answers. Maybe that's the point. But then why do we have such a drive to figure out the answers? You know, like, I don't know.
Yeah.
But it's not, for me at least, it can't just be, well, it's not real, none of it matters. Even if sometimes I feel like none of it matters.
Yeah.
You know, like
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
really like the demon that I have to fight against, which is the nihilism and like
That's suffering
you
right
know,
there. Yeah.
so
I'm not even joking. I believe that's holy suffering. Like true holy man's suffering comes up here, dude.
like entertaining the
Yes,
ideas,
the nihilistic
wrestling with the
yes.
ideas.
Yes. It all goes back to your painting. The men arguing on the steps.
Right.
Our whole purpose is
Raphael
to be
rooms.
yeah, but that's like our us. Like us is the men on the
that's
steps.
exactly
Yourself though too. It's
Yeah.
not just this. Like
No.
it's not just you and me arguing
it's
about anarchy.
within yourself.
Yes, within yourself.
Yeah, exactly, 100%.
Yeah. No, I agree agree with that. And like the atheists, that is why they piss me off is because they're just intellectually lazy.
Yeah.
Like it doesn't matter.
It's not real. Like we know, like they don't know.
Yeah.
They don't know.
Right.
And so you can like call anybody who's trying to like ask questions or figure things out stupid, but you look stupid to me, you know, like because you don't know.
You don't know, and you are stupid. Yeah, it's a crazy mixed up world. It's a doggy dog world. And could you imagine if we did find out that we did come to the end of our knowledge, everything that could be discovered was discovered, every book had been written, every movie had been directed,
and we still don't know.
And we still don't know. You know how many people would be out of a job though? A lot of scientists who are making up shit about space. They'd all be out of a job, dude.
Who are getting busy, who are busy writing our story.
Yeah.
As they think it up.
And, you know, give us a better story. We'll see you next week. We love you.